Hi, my name is Jonathan Byram, and I'm applying for the first grade position at Grant Elementary School. To me, active learning is any time the students are actively engaged or participating with the curriculum. It's moving away from teacher-lecture, teacher-led to more student-led discussions or student-led activities. There's a few different activities that I enjoy using in my classroom to ensure that I have active learning. One is the think, pair, share. It's a very common and widely used technique, but it allows me to learn a lot of different information about my students. It lets me check in to see what they're learning or to see if they're understanding the concept. One variation of the think, pair, share that I enjoy is asking the students to share what their partner said instead of just sharing their own idea, because it requires the students to actually pause and listen to their classmate and think about what their classmate is saying and then share that. It's just a nice way to keep the students talking and keep them engaged in the lesson. Another technique that I use in my classroom to ensure that active learning is happening is hand signals. And I like these because they're really simple. In my classroom, I have two that I use very frequently. One is just the common wrist nod to show for yes, and the other one is a shake. And a lot of people think that this is the no sign, but not in my classroom. In my classroom, it's I have a question. So when I have a student come up and share their thinking with the class, the rest of the class is asked to vote. Yes, I agree with what they're saying, or I have a question, because what's on my paper is different than what I'm seeing on the board, and I want to know how you got that. I think it's a smarter way and a better way to have students share their thinking and their process, rather than just a simple, nope, I didn't get that. Another technique that I use really frequently in both reading and math is partner activities. In my classroom this year, I used a partner activity almost every single day in math, and I had great results with it. The reason why I love partner activities so much is I put a lot of time and effort in matching my partners together so that the students will work together to solve the problems rather than be next to each other solving the problems. The partner activities are structured so that the students can check in with their partner to make sure that they both have the same answer and that they both are able to explain their process. And it's just a great way to get students sharing their ideas, sharing how they solve the problem, and continue to have students talk about their work. In reading, I had students partner read together, and depending on the comprehension skill we're practicing, you can have them use that with the partner. So if we're practicing making a mental picture, one student reads a page to their partner, and the other person has to think about what picture they would be making in their head and what details from the story help them make that picture, and they can share with their partner. It's a really great way to have them practice their comprehension skills. Moving on to another technique that I really like, it's called student-teacher. It's fairly simple. Student comes up and shares their work, and that's when we get our voting involved, and it really just keeps the class engaged and allows us to examine tough problems, but have the students lead the discussion of how to solve that problem rather than me lead it. Another very common technique is body movements, and I use these a lot, especially with grammar in my classroom. One in particular for capitalizing letters at the start of a sentence or capitalizing proper nouns is raise the roof. I like it a lot because it has the students physically remind themselves that they need a bigger or taller or capital letter at the start of that sentence or for that proper noun. To go along with that, I have them do a stomp for periods. And I think it's a great technique because when I'm walking around during journal time, I can just walk by someone, check their writing, and stomp on the ground. That way they know, oh yeah, I need a period. Similarly, you can look out at the class and see them pausing, raising the roof, or hear them stomping as they add that period. And it's just a good muscle memory technique to have them remind themselves to use their capitals and periods correctly. Another big technique is group work, and this can be used in any type of lesson across all subjects. Specifically, I've used group lessons to help teach sequencing. So I wrote out all the different sentences of a story on different sentence strips, and then I gave them to table groups and said, I need you guys to work together to put this sentence and these sentences and this story in the right order. And it really helped facilitate conversation about putting the story in the right order, and it was a great technique compared to just having them copy sentences down on a worksheet. So to wrap things up, I really, 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 really appreciate active learning and think it's a great tool. My only side comment would be, it doesn't just happen overnight. It's something that you need to teach and structure and practice a lot. It happens on day one when they walk into the classroom and you are explaining how you talk to a partner, how you help somebody. You don't just give them the answer. You have to ask them a question or ask them or show them your start on a problem. That way you're actually helping them and not just giving them the answer. I want to thank you for your consideration, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. My name is Jonathan Byram. Thank you very much.